I'm 76 years old, and 14 months ago I buried my wife, Eleanor. 49 years we had together, and I need to tell you something that I didn't understand until she was gone. The things I thought mattered in our marriage, the things I spent decades worrying about, none of them were what actually mattered. I learned more about love in the year after losing her than I did in the 49 years I had her beside me. And what I'm about to share with you, I wish I had known when she was still here. Maybe it would have changed how I showed up. Maybe it would have given us even more. I don't know, but I know this. If you have someone you love, you need to hear what I learned before it's too late. Eleanor and I met in 1974. I was working at a hardware store in Columbus, and she came in looking for a specific type of hinge for her mother's cabinet. I didn't have it in stock, but I told her I'd order it and call her when it arrived. It took 3 weeks for that hinge to come in, and I called her the same day. She picked it up and I asked if she wanted to get coffee sometime. She said yes. We were married 11 months later. For 49 years, I thought I was a good husband. I provided for our family. I stayed faithful. I showed up. I did what I thought husbands were supposed to do. But after Eleanor passed, I started going through her things, her journals, letters she never sent, notes she wrote to herself. And I realized there was so much I didn't see, so much I missed, so much I wish I could go back and do differently. The first thing I learned, she needed my presence more than my solutions. Eleanor used to come to me with problems, something at work bothering her, something one of our kids said, worries about her health, about money, about the future. And every single time, I would try to fix it. I'd give her advice. I'd tell her what to do. I'd explain why she shouldn't worry. I thought I was helping. I thought that's what she wanted. After she passed, I found a journal entry from 1992. She wrote, "I told Richard about the situation with my sister today. He gave me a 5-step plan to resolve it. I didn't want a plan. I just wanted him to hold me and tell me it was hard." I read that, and I sat in our bedroom and cried for an hour. All those years, she wasn't asking me to solve anything. She was asking me to be with her in it, to listen, to understand, to sit in the difficulty beside her instead of trying to rush us both out of it. And I missed it. Over and over, I missed it. If your partner comes to you with something heavy, before you start problem solving, ask yourself this: do they want my help or do they want my heart? Most of the time, it's the heart they need. The solutions can wait. The second thing I learned, the small moments were the real marriage. When I think about Eleanor now, you know what I don't think about? I don't think about our anniversary dinners. I don't think about the vacation we took to Hawaii in 2008. I don't think about the big milestones, the promotions, the celebrations. What I think about is Tuesday mornings. Every Tuesday, Eleanor would make pancakes. Not because Tuesday was special, just because she decided sometime in the 80s that Tuesday was Pancake Day. And for over 30 years, every Tuesday morning, I'd come downstairs and smell pancakes cooking. She'd have the coffee ready. We'd sit at the kitchen table before I left for work and we'd just talk, sometimes about nothing, sometimes about everything. I didn't appreciate it then. It was just routine, just another Tuesday. Now I would give anything for one more Tuesday. The life you build with someone isn't made of the big moments. It's made of the ordinary ones. The quiet mornings, the drives to the grocery store, the evenings watching television with your feet touching on the couch. Those are the moments that become your marriage. And if you're rushing through them, waiting for something bigger, you're missing the whole thing. The third thing I learned, I should have told her more often. Eleanor knew I loved her. At least, I think she did. I told her on our anniversary. I told her on her birthday. I said it when I left for trips, when something big happened, when it felt like the right moment. But I didn't say it on regular days. I didn't say it when she handed me my coffee. I didn't say it when she laughed at something on television. I didn't say it just because she was there, and I was grateful. After she passed, people kept telling me, she knew how you felt. And maybe she did. But knowing isn't the same as hearing. And hearing it once a year isn't the same as hearing it every day. I found a birthday card I gave her in 2015. I had written, "Happy birthday, love, Richard." That's it. 4 words. I didn't tell her she was beautiful. I didn't tell her she made my life better. I didn't tell her that waking up next to her was the best part of my day. I just wrote 4 words and thought that was enough. It wasn't enough. And now I can't take it back. If you love someone, tell them. Tell them today. Tell them tomorrow. Tell them when there's no occasion, when there's no reason, when it's just a regular afternoon and they're sitting across from you reading a book. Say it out loud, because one day you won't be able to anymore. The 4th thing I learned: arguments don't matter as much as you think. Eleanor and I fought. Not constantly, but we had our share over 49 years. About money, about the kids, about my mother, who Eleanor never quite got along with, about little things that became big things because we were both stubborn. And you know what I remember about those fights now? Nothing. I couldn't tell you what we argued about in 1987. I couldn't tell you why I was upset that Christmas in 2003. I couldn't tell you the specific words we said or who was right or who apologized first. It's all gone, faded away like it never mattered, because it didn't. What I remember is after, coming back together, sitting on the porch, not saying anything. Her putting her hand on my knee during dinner like nothing happened. The way we always found our way back to each other. The fights felt so important in the moment, like we had to win. Like being right mattered more than being close. But looking back, I can't even remember what we were fighting about. The only thing that lasted was whether we came back together afterward. If you're in the middle of something difficult with your partner, ask yourself, will this matter in 40 years? Will I even remember it? Probably not. So maybe it's not worth the distance it creates right now. The 5th thing I learned: time moves faster than you think. When Eleanor and I got married, 49 years sounded like forever. We joke about growing old together like it was some distant future that would never actually arrive. And then suddenly we were old. Suddenly her hair was gray, and my knees didn't work right, and we were talking about doctor's appointments instead of vacations. I don't know where the time went. I really don't. It feels like yesterday that I was 32, carrying our daughter on my shoulders, thinking we had all the time in the world. It feels like last week that I was 53, watching Eleanor dance with our son at his wedding. It feels like just a moment ago that I was 60, sitting on our porch, thinking we still had decades left. We didn't. The years will disappear on you. One day you're young and strong and the future stretches out forever. And then you blink and you're old and your wife is sick and the doctor is telling you to prepare yourself. It happens that fast, and you can't slow it down. All you can do is pay attention while it's happening. Notice the life you're living while you're living it, because it won't last as long as you think. The 6th thing I learned: grief is just love with nowhere to go. Someone said that to me at Eleanor's funeral. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. Every morning I wake up and reach for her side of the bed. Every evening I set 2 places at the table before I remember. Every time something happens, good or bad, my first thought is that I need to tell Eleanor, and then I remember I can't. The grief doesn't go away. It's been 14 months, and some days it's as sharp as the first week. But I've realized the grief isn't separate from the love. It is the love. It's all the love I still have for her, all the love that built up over 49 years, and now it has nowhere to go. So it sits in my chest and aches, and that's okay. I'd rather have this ache than never have had her at all. If you're afraid of losing someone you love, if you hold back because you don't want to get hurt, I understand. But the hurt is worth it. The grief I carry now is the price of 49 years with Eleanor, and I would pay it again, every single time. I don't know how much time I have left. Could be 20 years, could be 2, could be less. But however long it is, I'll spend it thinking about her, remembering her, trying to be the husband now, in my memory, that I wish I'd been then. If you have someone, hold them closer, tell them more, fight less, Pay attention to the ordinary days. Don't wait for the big moments to show your love. The small moments are the big moments. You just don't realize it until they're gone. Eleanor, if somehow you can hear this, I love you. I always did. I just wish I'd said it more. I wish I'd shown it better. I wish I'd understood what I understand now. To everyone watching, thank you for letting me share this. I don't know if it helps. I hope it does. If you've lost someone too, I'm sorry. If you still have them, don't waste a single day. Leave a comment if any of this meant something to you. Tell me about your person. I'd like to hear about them. And if you want more from people like me, people who've lived long enough to learn a few things the hard way, subscribe to this channel. I won't be around forever. None of us will. But while I'm still here, I want to share what I've learned. Take care of each other. That's all that matters in the end.